Welcome to the deep dive. This is where we try to break down complex topics into something more, well, manageable.
Exactly. And today we're looking at probably the most complex machine there is, the human body.
Right, the original engineered marvel. And our goal isn't to drown you in, heavy textbooks.
No, not at all. We've pulled together some core material, basically the essentials of anatomy and physiology.
We want to give you that strategic design view. How do the big systems, skeletal, circulatory, nervous, all that stuff, how do they actually work together?
It's about understanding the blueprint, so you have a solid framework for, how you work.
Exactly. A set of, let's call them high-value nuggets, so you feel informed about the structure keeping you going.
And think of it as context, right? Knowing the parts helps you understand the whole function. It's the why behind health, really.
Okay, so let's unpack this starting with the framework. The skeleton,
Yeah, the bones. Most people think support, structure.
which they definitely are, but they're doing more, aren't they? It's like a triple duty design.
That's a good way to put it. Support, yes. Protection for vital organs, absolutely.
But
Mhm.
also, they make red blood cells. That one kind of surprises people.
It often does. It's a hidden factory in there.
Mm.
And speaking of elegant design, the spine is a great example.
Oh, definitely. It's not just one solid rod, thankfully. Imagine trying to move.
Right.
Hmm.
Terrible for shock absorption. It's segmented. Very specific segments.
Okay, I remember reading about the specific counts. 33 bones in total, broken down. Can you remind us of the sections?
Sure, you've got 7 cervical vertebrae up in the neck. That's for all that head turning and nodding.
Right. Flexible?
Then 12 thoracic vertebrae. These connect to the ribs, so they're a bit more rigid, forming the chest cage.
Makes sense. Protection again?
Then 5 lumbar vertebrae in the lower back. These are the big ones. They carry most of the weight.
Okay.
And finally, you have the sacrum, which is 5 fused vertebrae, and the coccyx, the tailbone, usually 4 fused.
So that deliberate segmentation gives us strength and flexibility. It's key to being upright and mobile.
Precisely. And then you need joints for that mobility.
Yeah, the connection points. And they're specialized too, aren't they? Like the shoulder or hip versus the elbow.
Exactly. You have ball and socket joints, shoulder, hip allowing movement in multiple directions, lots of rotation.
Like a joystick.
Sort of, yeah. Then you have hinge joints, like your elbow or knee.
Mm-hmm.
They primarily move in just one plane, like a door hinge, back and forth.
Okay, so bones provide the structure, joints allow the movement,
Right.
but we need power, muscles.
The engine. And there are 3 main types of muscle tissue.
Right. There's the one we control.
Skeletal muscle, voluntary, which you use to, lift things or walk.
And then the involuntary ones.
2 types there. Smooth muscle, which
Mm.
works inside your organs, like pushing food through your digestive tract.
Yeah.
You don't think about it, it just happens.
Thank goodness.
And cardiac muscle, that's unique, found only in the heart. Also involuntary, obviously.
So the bones and muscles together, that's the musculoskeletal system, right? It's about how they connect.
That's the key. It's an integrated system. You need tendons to connect the muscles to the bones.
Those are like the ropes.
Exactly. Muscle contracts, pulls the tendon moves the bone. That's your lever action.
And ligaments.
Ligaments connect bone to bone. They're like strong straps that stabilize the joint, keep it from moving in ways it shouldn't. It's all about controlled motion.
All right, let's switch gears from structure to the delivery service, the circulatory system, starting with the heart.
The engine room, yeah.
Uh-huh.
A nonstop pump. 4 chambers, one-way valves,
It's incredibly efficient.
2 atria, 2 ventricles, and there's that one chamber that's like the powerhouse.
Oh yeah, the left ventricle. It's significantly more muscular than the others. Its wall can be, what, nearly an inch thick?
Wow, why so strong?
Because it has the toughest job. It has to pump oxygenated blood out to the entire body, every single part.
Whereas the right ventricle.
Just pumps blood next door to the lungs. Much shorter trip, much less resistance. So that pressure difference is huge. And that pressure drives the flow through the different types of vessels, arteries.
Arteries carry blood away from the heart. They're under high pressure from that ventricular pump.
So they need to be strong and elastic.
Exactly. They stretch with each pulse wave. Veins, on the other hand, carry blood back to the heart. Lower pressure system there.
Got it. And where does the actual exchange happen? The oxygen drop-off, nutrient delivery?
That happens in the tiniest vessels, the capillaries. They form these huge, intricate networks throughout the tissues.
Like tiny little side streets off the main roads.
Good analogy. That's where oxygen and nutrients pass from the blood into the cells, and waste products like CO2 move from the cells back into the blood.
Okay. And we can monitor this whole system by checking the pulse.
Right. You're feeling that pressure wave from the heart contracting as it travels through the arteries.
And the common spots are the neck?
The carotid artery, yeah. Then the femoral artery in the groin.
And the wrist.
The radial artery. Those are the main accessible points.
Okay. And the blood itself isn't just red liquid. It's got components.
Oh, definitely. It's
Yeah.
a complex fluid. You have plasma, which is mostly water, the liquid base.
And then the cells.
Red blood cells for oxygen transport, white blood cells for immunity-fighting infections, and platelets.
Platelets. Clotting, right.
Yep, essential for stopping bleeding. They're the first responders to injury.
Okay, so that's the transport. Now the fuel exchange. Respiration. Breathing. It seems simple, but the mechanism is quite clever.
It really is. It's not about actively pushing air, it's about changing pressure. The diaphragm is key.
That big muscle under the lungs.
That's the one. When it contracts, it flattens and moves down. This increases the volume inside your chest cavity.
Okay, bigger space?
Bigger space means lower pressure inside compared to the air outside. Basic physics, right? So air naturally rushes in to equalize the pressure. That's inspiration breathing in.
Negative pressure breathe.
Precisely. And then when the diaphragm relaxes, it domes back up, volume decreases, pressure increases, and air flows out. Expiration. It's elegant. Okay, so we've got fuel delivery sorted with the circulatory system. Now we need the coordination, the control center, the nervous system.
The body's internet. Central computer and all the wiring, and it's got two main parts, right?
Correct. You have the central nervous system, or CNS, that's the big processor.
Yeah.
The brain and the spinal cord. Decision-making command center.
And then everything branching out from there.
That's the peripheral nervous system, the PNS.
Yeah.
All the nerves connecting the brain and spinal cord to, well, everywhere else. Muscles, organs, skin. It's the communication highway.
Carrying signals both ways, I assume.
Absolutely. Motor commands go out from the CNS, sensory information comes back in.
And a huge amount of that sensory information comes from our interface with the world, the skin.
The integumentary system, yeah. It's actually the body's largest organ. And it does way more than just, hold us together.
It's got some critical jobs, three main ones.
At least three major functions, yes. First, protection. It's a physical barrier against microbes, chemicals, UV radiation, physical injury.
Okay, the shield.
Second, temperature regulation. Hugely important for keeping our core temperature stable.
And third?
Sensory input. Transmitting information from the outside world, touch, pressure, pain, temperature, to the nervous system.
Let's talk about that temperature regulation piece. How does the skin actually cool us down? It's pretty neat.
It is. When your body needs to shed heat, blood vessels near the surface of the skin dilate. They get wider.
So more blood flows close to the surface.
Exactly. More warm blood near the cooler outside air means heat radiates away more easily. Plus, sweating helps.
How does sweating cool us?
Evaporation. When sweat turns from liquid to gas on your skin, it uses heat energy from your body to do that, which cools you down.
Clever. And when it's cold, the opposite happens. Vessels constrict.
Right. They narrow to keep warm blood closer to the core, reducing heat loss.
And that sensory function, it's all those little receptors in the skin.
Yep. Specialized nerve endings. Some detect light touch, others deep pressure, others pain, heat, cold. They pick up the stimulus and send a signal zipping up the spinal cord to the brain.
So it's a constant stream of data about our environment. Okay, shifting focus again. Let's talk about internal maintenance. Processing fuel, getting rid of waste. First up, digestion.
Right. And the thing that always gets me about the digestive tract is just the sheer length of it.
I know. I saw this fact. It's something like 35 feet long, or 11 meters.
Wait, really? 35 feet? That's longer than a lot of rooms.
Isn't that wild? All coiled up inside us. It needs that length for processing time, I guess.
Makes sense. You need enough surface area and time to break everything down and absorb it.
And speaking of absorption, that mostly happens in one key area, right?
Primarily, yes. The small intestine is where the vast majority of nutrient absorption takes place. That's where the good stuff gets pulled into the bloodstream.
Gotcha. Now, there's an organ nearby that's crucial for digestion and something else really important. The pancreas.
The pancreas. Yeah, it makes digestive enzymes, but critically, it also produces insulin.
And insulin regulates blood sugar.
Blood glucose levels, exactly. It helps cells take up glucose from the blood for energy. When that system fails, like in diabetes mellitus, you get serious problems with fuel management.
Okay, so that's processing fuel. What about handling the waste products?
That brings us mainly to the genitourinary system. It sort of has a dual role.
Reproduction is one part.
Right, the reproductive organs. But the other major function is waste removal, primarily through the urinary system.
The kidneys are the stars here, aren't they?
Absolutely. Think of them as incredibly sophisticated filters for your blood. They don't just take out waste, they carefully regulate fluid balance, electrolytes, even blood pressure.
So they decide what the body needs to keep and what needs to go,
Precisely. The waste products and excess water become urine.
which then gets stored in the bladder before elimination. So constantly cleaning the blood of metabolic byproducts.
Yep, it's essential for keeping the internal environment stable. So if we pull all these systems together, knowing how they work helps us understand vital signs.
Right. Pulse, breathing rate, blood pressure, they're like the dashboard indicators for the body.
Exactly. They give us a quick snapshot of how well these core systems are functioning together. Are things stable? Is the body under stress?
And the really fascinating part here, I think, is that normal isn't one size fits all. It changes dramatically with age.
Hugely important point.
Yeah.
You absolutely have to consider age when you look at vital signs.
Take pulse rate, for example. For an adult, normal is usually, 60 to 100 beats per minute?
Roughly, yeah, resting rate. But for an infant, say newborn up to a year old,
It's way higher, isn't it? Like 100 to 180?
it can be, yes. 100 to 180 beats per minute is within the normal range for an infant.
That seems incredibly fast,
Yeah.
but thinking about it, they're growing so rapidly.
That's the key. Their metabolic rate is through the roof compared to an adult. They need that rapid circulation to deliver oxygen and nutrients for all that growth and development.
So the high pulse rate reflects that high demand. And breathing rate, too.
Same story. An infant might breathe 25 to even 60 times a minute. An adult, more like 12 to 20 breaths per minute.
Wow. So that context is critical for interpretation.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And even within an age group, things can fluctuate.
Right. Things like exercise, obviously.
Exercise, fitness levels, stress, whether you're sick, medications you might be taking. Lots of factors can nudge pulse and blood pressure up or down. It shows how responsive the body is. #outro.
Okay, that was quite the tour through the human body's design. Some amazing details we covered.
Yeah, things like the power of that left ventricle, the segmented spine, the sheer length of the digestive tract.
That 35-foot number is going to stick with me.
Me too.
Yeah.
And also just how variable those vital signs are, especially across different ages. It really highlights the body's adaptability.
It really does. It gives you a much deeper appreciation for how complex, but also how resilient this whole system is.
Hopefully this gives everyone listening a better handle on that foundational blueprint.
Well, thanks for joining us for this deep dive. We always like to leave you with something to think about, a little provocative thought.
Yeah.
So we talked about how the body regulates temperature using the skin and blood vessels, right? Dilation to cool, constriction to warm up.
We did.
Now think about the physical changes that happen as people get older. Maybe reduced muscle mass, changes in the nervous system responsiveness, thinner skin perhaps. Considering those changes, how might the body's natural ability to regulate temperature differ between, say, a young child and an older adult?
That's a good one. Drawing on lifespan changes and that temperature regulation mechanism.
Something to mull over. We'll catch you on the next deep dive.